Hi everybody, welcome back to Movie Related. Well, we're not talking about movies, we're talking about TV series today. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 3.
Mid-season.
Mid-season, this is the halfway point, so if we're not hooked by now, we're never going to be hooked. So are we hooked? Are you hooked? Does anyone even care? We're going to try and not anger all the Marvel fans out there right off the bat. But man, this episode was boring.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a place where you can go and discuss the Falcon and the Winter Soldier because you're a really big fan, and you want to go hear people talk about, oh yeah, hype fan stuff, you should go look for those places because we're a review channel and we're going to talk about the quality of the episode and the season so far. So if you're interested in that kind of perspective, stay tuned.
Here's the problem with this episode to me is I have no idea what they're doing. They're traveling. They break the guy out from the Civil War episode. And he knows all about the Winter Soldier, and he's the one who created the serum, knew about the serum and all this stuff. So there's history, but we don't care. Nothing in this episode made me care about the characters anymore. They are traveling and going into discos and just randomly talking to people who, oh, you gotta talk to this person. All right, they'll see you now. Go in and talk to that person. Oh, you gotta go see the other person. Like, what? It's like questing in the same episode. Like, we didn't solve anything in this episode whatsoever. The only thing we really found out about is at one point we thought we were going to have one of the female super soldiers who we've met. We've kind of had this backstory that she's trying to feed people and she's actually doing this for the right reasons. She's a sympathetic character. FYI, she murders a whole bunch of people in this episode just to murder them.
Yeah, so I was going through this episode and they get to the point where they're showing this red-haired villainness. And I'm thinking, you know what? I care more about these bad guys than I do about the new Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Falcon, this person they rescued out of prison to help them. I don't care about any of that stuff. But you know what? I can really get behind the story of these villains because I'm rooting for them.
And then they murder a bunch of people.
And then really out of nowhere, she does this evil act. And I'm thinking, well, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, this is not in her character. You did this just to show that they're bad guys.
Yeah. Because I guess we're halfway through, and at some point we're going to have to eliminate the bad guys, and now we're making, now it's okay to kill her later on or arrest her because now we know she's a bad person. Instead of being an actual person who's trying to change things and maybe make it right for the wrong reasons. Okay, maybe. But no, now they just straight out made her, even the person she's with was surprised she did this and shocked that she did this. So it's completely out of character, and they're going to say, well, her mom just died and now she's all depressed and now she's turning evil. You ruined a really good story plot with that. Of course, we have Carter show up in this episode, and it took us forever to remember who she is. And by the way, she's as good as Black Widow because she's taken out 75 guys with machine guns all by herself out in the field.
She does have a pretty good action sequence where she's beating up a couple of guys, but in the end, like the whole action thing is ridiculous. You'll have the bad guys, they can't hit anything, they can't shoot. There's this one bad guy, he knows she's around the corner. So instead of like peeking around the corner and shooting her, he goes out like this in full view so that he's completely exposed.
Yeah.
And later on, you see this big gun battle, and it sounds like they're using cap guns that kids would use. It's not pow, pow, it's...
Yeah. Well, there's also a lot of suspend belief in this, because when they first go to meet this female crime lord,
Ellen DeGeneres.
they're surrounded by like 30 people with machine guns and everything like this. She'll see you now. They go in, and at one point, they shoot her, and they kill one other guard. And then they go on this big escape thing. They're already out of this hidden place that they were escorted to, and they're out in the middle of a disco, and there's only 2 other guards that chase them. Meanwhile, there was like 30, 40, 50 of them at one point. But suddenly they all just went away when...
Yeah, and not only that, but they said, oh my God, they're going to pin this on us. What are we going to do? And then you see somebody put a bounty on their heads of like lots of money.
Yeah.
And nobody chases them.
Until they run into Carter and go off on this other quest to find this other person in this shipping container field.
Who does his bad guy monologue, and you got to sit through his whole backstory as he explains who he is. And the comedy that you thought there was going to be this like buddy cop rivalry between the Falcon and Winter Soldier
is not.
It's not working. They try to put it in there from time to time, and it's not working at all. This is so boring to sit through.
I was bored. I was bored because there was no flow to the episode. We literally started out, go meet the guy in prison. Now we have to go and rendezvous with this other girl and the undercrime lord. Now we got to go rendezvous with this scientist. Now we got to go meet with this other person. All in one episode. This isn't a movie that stretched out over 2.5 hours. This is a 35-minute episode that I was going, do something. And the action scene that they throw in. By the way, we have Falcon. He hasn't been Falcon in 2 episodes. Mm-hmm. He's been a guy walking around in his normal clothes. So
his Avenger power is his outfit,
and he's not doing it. Yes, Winter Soldier's there because he has his arm and everything, but I'm sorry, you're I know they're trying to make this big, intriguing spy drama episode with emotional feelings about Captain America going around and all this. It's to me right now, it's failing.
The one reveal that we get is the new Captain America, Walker. You can see maybe a little bit more transition, where he's talking to this guy he's trying to get information out of, and the guy, he said, do you know who I am? Because he's not getting anywhere with him. The guy says, I don't care. And so he thinks he's more than he is because he's like Captain America.
He's very conceited.
Yeah, and then later on, at the very end, so you see that at the very beginning. At the very end, he says, okay, well, we got to do this thing. It's kind of off books, and his buddy is surprised that they're going to go off book.
Yeah, and
so maybe he's not the hero that everybody thinks he's going to be.
Which we know is going to be the plot line at some point. But it's also the point where he also says in it, he says, do you really think they're going to care once we solve this, how we solve this?
Yeah.
So, the ends justify the means, right? Which is the famous line of every villain out there.
And you just looking at his face, though, he's not a guy you cheer for. He looks like a guy you want to hate.
Yes. Whether it's like because he's a rich snobby guy or just a stuck-up guy in any freshman movie. But no. All right, I'm sorry. We're going to keep reviewing it.
Are we?
Yeah.
For real?
We are, because people want to hear the truth.
Okay, but I got to travel a half hour across the city.
You do. And I got to listen to you afterwards. So we're
Okay, just so far, this is boring. This is a fail. Marvel is better than this.
Yeah.
I regret now that I was so hard on Season 2 Mandalorian, because Season 2 Mandalorian was much better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
And even WandaVision is way better than this.
Yes.
Way better than this has been so far. I am not interested in this. There's no humor. The jokes do not land.
They even tried to end this episode on a cliffhanger, and we're going, eh?
Yeah. Well, there's somebody from Wakanda, I think, is how this ended. Because you've already had every episode, here's a new guy. Here's the new Captain America. The next one, here's the guy from the movie. Now at the end of this one, here's somebody else from one other movie, maybe. We don't care. Tell us a story and make it flow. This is like, I don't know. I don't know what the direction is. We get 75 close-ups, 37 slow motion scenes.
Oh, but the combat is all like two times speed.
Cut.
And like even when it's not cut though, it's just everything is fast motion. That's not interesting.
No, I don't know. I'm sorry. I am less and less interested in this as we go along. They're not hooking me in. I guess maybe if I was a super big Marvel fanboy and I knew all the inside outs and the history of Carter and the history of this person and the history of that person, I would be going, oh, look, I wonder what this person has to do. Because right now, the story plot is dumb and makes no sense. This guy just out and out, the bad guy who they broke out of prison said, you better do what we say or else you're going back, just shot a guy in cold blood against their wishes, and they say, okay, well, next time you better not do this anymore. Like, come on, at least, come on.
Like, we understand there's a lot of Marvel fans out there that will give this a break because they have other priorities. They want to support Marvel, they're looking for Easter eggs.
I want to support them too, but I want the shows to be good.
I like Mackie and I like Sebastian Stan. I want Sebastian Stan to play a middle-aged Luke Skywalker. Okay, like we like the actors. Okay, I was interested in seeing them in this.
Yes, this show is just bad.
Is making this show has failed.
Yeah, the writing of this show is bad. The direction and the directors of this show is bad, and the cinematography of this show is bad. And the plot. I'm sorry, the plot. 1 minute they're on the run, there's $1 billion bounty on their head. The next minute, they go back to the disco. And no one's after them anymore, and it's okay. There's no continuity of the story. It's from one scene to another scene to another scene, and they don't go together. Like, they make no sense.
We know that they're concerned that there's super soldier serum out there, okay? And so far, that's the plot. They're going to find the serum. But we don't care. There's nothing bad happening to make it so urgent that they have to go do this stuff. It's just like, oh yeah, that's why we're watching the show, because something's happening over there. We don't know much about it, but they think it's important.
Yeah.
It's a big MacGuffin.
By the way, let's just travel and talk to people, because that's all it's been so far. And anyway, we're rambling, so I'm going to end this episode right now by saying we're not fans. This episode is probably the worst so far, and that's saying a lot, because we haven't liked the other 2 episodes neither. But at least the other episodes had me a little intrigued, but this episode took that intrigue away. I no longer care about Captain America, new Captain America. I no longer care about the villain's story, because now they're just evil. Now she's just an evil person. I don't care anymore. So you lost us, Marvel, and I don't know if you can get us back. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below, because I was fairly impressed with WandaVision. Haven't been impressed so far with their next series. Well, they got 50 more on the making, so maybe the next one will be good. I'm looking forward to Loki. Maybe Loki will be good and funny, because this one is not funny, and it's not good.